Shalom, Akim, your brother Ratazah Allah from GMS London camp. First and foremost, give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakwa Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone who teach and rule well. Blessings unto the sincere Akim around the four winds, the hopeful elect, waiting to be delivered in these last days. Just a quick, quick movie review from this Netflix flick that I just watched on earlier today. It's called Bright. It's the new Will Smith series / or you could say it's a movie flick. I don't know if they're going to turn it into actual series, but from what I've seen already, it looks like it's just going to be one movie. But it's good. It received certain ratings, and from the media and all that, saying that's not a good watch. Basically, it's too confusing, in regards to it, just have a basic storyline or whatever. But Joseph Kahn, the guy who made Suicide Squad and the End of Worlds, I think it is. He made this movie basically, and that should give you an intel on what kind of storylines he's gonna go with, man. Basically, it's gonna be about Jake, and that's what I wanted to basically put out there and push, because these producers and all that, man, these devils know that Jake, we're the salt of the earth basically, man, and anything we do has substance, man. So they have to incorporate us and steal ideas from our history and our backgrounds, like the scriptures, mainly from the Bible, and incorporate that to make their little blockbuster hits, man, out there, man. Like all the mainstream movies and whatever it comes out, superhero movies, it's all based on the children of Israel, man, and that's a fact. You can even check out the old storylines and of certain comics and Marvel and superheroes that were made. They all incorporate from biblical characters or just the children of Israel in general, man. Because we're the the Lord's people, we're the chosen people of the earth. So as I watched this, and then basically you got this guy, like, your main guy, Will Smith, and then you got his partner on the left hand side or the right hand side of him. Basically, they call them orcs, which is supposed to be like an alien / mutant, living on Earth, and basically as a human being. But really, when I watched it and observed the film, because you had a whole nation of orcs as well as like humans living amongst each other, and they also got fairies and it's all kind. There's a lot of madness in there, a lot of fucking confusion in there, but there's also a lot of plain truths you can see if you're watching with a spiritual eye, And Will Smith basically represents the house of Judah, and from my observation, and then the orc on the left hand side with the blue face, he represents the northern kingdom, northern tribes, man, the Latino tribes, from what I could see. And you even had Latinos, the actual Latinos in the actual movie as in gangs as well. But you had orcs that were in gangs as well, man. You could see them with their, with their hip hop outfits, whatever, attire, dressing like, this is based in LA, by the way. So they're dressing like, Bloods and Crips and shit in different gangs. And you can see that, LA predominantly is just full of Northern Kingdom, a lot of Northern Kingdom, man. A lot of Latinos and all them type of tribes, man. Natives and that. So it's definitely coinciding with Judah and the house of Israel, man. And basically, from what I could see from it, like the scripture says that the Lord's gonna bend Judah for me and fill the bowl of Ephraim. That the two houses are gonna come back together sooner rather than later, man. That wasn't the main emphasis of the movie, but it shows you in a way that they're the same people and they have to band together to fight against the evil, man, and fight against the the wicked. So anyway, so Esau, as I said, they take the piss. I think it was Joseph Kahn I said, is directed the movie, and they threw certain things in there from the scriptures, man, or things that we hear the men of the Lord talking about from the apostles and the elders on down. They have situations where they have the coming of the dark. They call it the Dark Lord. which really they're saying the Dark Lord, because the one they ignorantly call Jesus Christ is not a so-called white man, he's a so-called black man, and they know this, man. They say that, you know, they got to stop the coming, but basically the Dark Lord coming to Earth and taking over, and that he was. It's been 2,000 years since, you know, he was on the Earth and all that, but really they got a so-called leprous devil, a damn woman playing the Dark Lord, some Edomite bitch, you know, playing the Dark Lord, you know, and she has 2 allies with her and all that. So it's just like some Trinity shit that they're trying to push. So that's just arse out. That's just bare confusion, because the Lord ain't no damn woman, and definitely got no leprosy, man. That's a curse on that part. And then they say basically there was a guy in there. He was you know, some Edomite, but they made him look bare dirty, like he was a homeless bum, you know, very dirty and unclean. And basically he was out there in the street, in the middle of the streets, prophesying with a sword in his hand, saying the end is coming, or he, like, you know, he's acting like, basically they put him in the movie like to say he was John the Baptist preparing the way for the Lord, or the Dark Lord to come. And the guy on the right, he was basically part of the prophecy that the guy spoke to him about when he, you know, they met him in the street, and the guy that's supposed to be supposedly trying to play John the Baptist told these 2 cops that, you know, they're part of prophecy, you know, they you know, come back to their old traditions, their old ways. Well, he told the orc basically to come back to your traditions, come back to your old ways, you know, come out of the world, you know, and preserve the wand, which is some mystical, magical instrument, you know, that basically the Dark Lord would use to take over the whole earth. It's got a lot of mysticisms in there, a lot of fallacies, you know, the fairies and shit like that, and those shits don't exist, man. Fairies don't exist, you know, all this black magic shit, that's just witchcraft. So, you know, they entangled a lot of madness and confusion in it, you know. But, you know, if you look at the basis of it, you can see that it's all this is based on the children of Israel, man. Because I said that, you know, we're the inspiration of the world, the earth, we're the salt of the earth. So those are the things that I observed watching it. It's a good watch, man, you know, because of the storyline and all that, and what it's based upon. You can tell that if it's because it's based upon the children of Israel, it's gonna be quite, you know, exciting and all that. But they throw a lot of spanners in the works, a lot of confusion, so people are just gonna be bugged out, not knowing where they got this kind of story from, or why they made it. But these guys know, that are involved in the movie. The director knows what this is really about, you know. And then basically the witchcraft, or the chosen ones, or whatever, getting power of that wand, that mystical wand or whatever, they call it a bright. Oh, it's luckier. The ones that are able to you know, take hold of the wand, the magical mystical wand of the Dark Lords, you know, they're supposed to be called brights. And Will Smith has basically said, you know, they say that he's a part of the chosen, and he's a bright, and you see it throughout the movie at the end when he picks up the wand or whatever, and destroys the, you know, so-called Dark Lord, you know, good versus evil. And it's a lot of confusion. That's why I can't really say it out plainly, but, you know, that's what these devils do. But I just wanted to point out the fact that, you know, the house of Judah and the house of Israel, they're going to come back together very soon, man, because this prophecy is part of the Lord's word. And I just want to read this one scripture and close out, man. Yeah, they also got something called elves in there. It's a lot of madness. Now, anyway, Jeremiah 10:16 says, the portion of Jacob is not like them, talking about the other nations, man, because Jacob is, you know, the Lord of the Lord's chosen, man. He's of the Lord's inheritance. So for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. So the Lord of hosts, or Yahweh of hosts, is his name. So the Lord set us apart from the other nations, man. That's why anything we do, we outshine the other nations, man. And these devils have to take our history and our you know, our traditions and all that, so to speak, and make light of it in the world, but act like they just come up with the idea, not knowing that they stole these ideas and all these movie type scenarios from the scriptures, man. You know, it says Deuteronomy 7:6 says, for thou art a holy people unto the Lord Yahweh thy power. It says, and the Lord and thy Lord and Yahweh thy power, Salakia, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So that's why that whatever we do, this it surpasses the other nations, man. Even in the basic storyline, man. These devils, these heathens have to get their inspiration from the scriptures, and they focus upon who the scriptures are talking about, which is the children of Israel. They ain't talking about no other nation. There ain't no other chosen people out there. Even in Galatians, when Paul was referring to the heathens, he was talking about the children of Israel, man. He wasn't talking about no actual heathens, man. The Nakaria, the actual heathens, or the Gawayim, talking about Esau and the other nations, Moab and Ammon. He wasn't talking about that. And the director of this thing, movie or whatever, I think he's a gook anyway, a Moabite or something, his name is Joseph Khan, said, this truth ain't for them, man. That's why the scriptures say, why did the heathen rage? And imagine a vain thing, because they ain't the chosen, man. You only got put in the spotlight for a moment just because we fell as a nation, we fell as a people, but the Lord's about to put us back on that totem pole, so to speak, and make us, put us on top of the food chain once again, man. The apex predators of the earth, man. We're the kings of the earth, man. Not you damn devils, you heathens, man. And you're gonna find that out the hard way, But anyway, I just wanted to make that quick observation. Make this quick sit down real quick, because I watched a program earlier on today, and I thought I'd just make a quick sit down on it just to raise the point that Israel, Yasha Allah, the princes of the Most High, are on the rise, man. They're going to be soon to be put in that limelight again as the chosen, man, very soon upon the earth. And that's it, man. But anyway, I'll give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, GreatMillStone, Brakatam to the elect, Wakar Yakodash. Shalom, shalom.